dark clouds of smoke coming up into the sky. We decided to follow it, and this is the scene that we came upon. All you have to do is break the glass. Aboard the USS H.W. Bush, the French Navy and the American Navy are coming together to train for the first time in more than 10 years. And that's how much water is pooled underneath these trees. The couple was arrested after the 2-year-old girl was found unresponsive in their home. But we found out from court documents that it wasn't the first time one of them has been arrested. Get their message out. They want to stay peaceful. Would you all like to talk to us about the movement tonight? What do you have to say about traffic being blocked? Was that worthwhile for the cause tonight? For the last 15 minutes, it's been inside of our station vehicle. It's reading at 110 degrees. Inside the memorial service, we heard from family members and former teachers, all of them talking about Davis's infectious smile. So that's just how much snow we're seeing in some parking lots. And I'm going to point out this truck over here. Only taking a selfie, but really, I'm using my camera so that I can take a look inside of your car. I have a pine cone. If I put it right into the water, my photographer will follow that down. A woman was walking her dog right here on the sidewalk when she noticed something suspicious in this retention pond. FBI, ATF, and Williamsburg police are actively handling this case. If you take a look down here, this is the Mulchy area where they were focusing their investigation. And as you can see, a lot of this has been disturbed. I also want to show you this car over here. And as you can see, there's an awful lot of debris on it. We're told that this bomb was placed in the Mulchy area and exploded around 5 o'clock last night. Now, with homecoming weekend starting tonight, they want to be able to find out who's responsible to make sure this is an isolated incident.
It was really loud. It's like putting your head to the cannons down Colonial Williamsburg.
An explosion interrupts Stephen Ballmer's dinner last night.
We thought it was a car exploding, but there was a van with a lot of debris on it.
Williamsburg police say it wasn't a car exploding, but a device being detonated. Local police, along with the FBI and ATF, are focusing their investigation on this area surrounding Barrett's restaurant. They say it's where the explosive device was set off. Other than that, they aren't saying much about it.
Small amount of physical damage, but I can't discuss it.
They are also not revealing details about what was inside the device or what kind of shrapnel came from it. They did, however, say that a portion of the device did not explode, causing investigators to dig through the mulch and bring out dogs to find evidence left behind.
We're investigating everything involved with this particular case.
Those efforts are going on while the campus of William and Mary prepares for their homecoming weekend. Campus security officials say they do not consider this incident a threat to the campus, but visitors say they will be keeping an eye out this weekend for anything out of the ordinary.
It is concerning given the recent trends in the world and the things that are going on. It's definitely good to keep a lookout, and it just goes to show that nowhere is completely immune from this kind of situation.
Williamsburg police are urging anyone with information to take action and call the crime line. In Williamsburg, I'm Allison Mechanic, News 3. Those who work at this produce stand say they were just about to open for the day when all of a sudden a tornado came through, ripping off the roof of the business.
Everything you see is what happened within like 30 seconds.
Kevin Bunch stands among the damage to this Eatington produce stand, amazed he was able to survive despite being under the very roof the storm tore off.
I'm just kind of shaky. I mean, I'm just glad to be here.
It's a feeling many neighbors in the Rocky Hawk section of the city can relate to. Mary Kay Peel says she was inside her home when the tornado touched down.
I heard just a loud noise, and it was a roaring noise, and the house, I could feel the house shaking.
According to the National Weather Service, the tornado traveled a total distance of 6 miles with 70 to 80 mile per hour winds. The force of the storm ripped the front porch from Peel's home and severely damaged Robert Sutton's house.
If you could just imagine a bulldozer going through a house in 2 seconds, that's the sounds that we hear. You know, it was horrendous.
As horrible as the storm was, neighbors are still considering themselves lucky since they all made it out with their lives.
God's just looking after us. I was blessed.
Thankfully, no one was injured despite the massive amount of damages. Neighbors say that they are already beginning their cleanup efforts. In Eatonton, I'm Allison Mechanic, News 3. A French deployment of this scale is unprecedented. It's being called the Chesapeake deployment. It took more than a year to plan and will last for more than a month. But according to Navy leaders from both countries, the benefits of this training will be everlasting. With each takeoff and landing aboard USS George H.W. Bush, the skills of pilots and crew members grow stronger. But these flights are about more than just training. It's about helping out our longest-standing ally, the French.
The language, which some people might think is a barrier, it tends not to be. They're not only helping each other, but teaching each other and learning from each other.
Rear Admiral Stephen Evans is overseeing Chesapeake deployment, where more than 500 flights will be completed by 350 French sailors on 13 aircrafts aboard USS George H.W. Bush over the course of 7 weeks.
You have sailors and sailors working together side by side, and who are finding out that they have far more in common than they have apart.
The massive deployment was scheduled around the maintenance of France's only aircraft carrier, Charles de Gaulle. With it out of commission, the French turned to the Americans for help.
Our two communities are very close to each other because we are the two only countries that use the E2 from a carrier.
The similarities of the French Navy's aircrafts and carriers made their adjustment on board seamless.
We work in the same way all the time. We have the same procedures or very close to each other.
The partnership between the French and the American can be seen even on our planes. This one right here has one side with the American flag and the French flag on the other.
This deployment is not only for training, right? It's to maintain some brotherhood between our two navies.
Resulting in not just stronger sailors, but a stronger Navy overall.
It strengthens that alliance together. It strengthens our ability that we can integrate with our French allies, at sea,